Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Friday night, guys. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. Got a word for you. Tap in. So guys, listen, I'm in my feelings right now. I'm in my feelings right now, right? Okay. Satan called your girl ugly. Satan called your girl ugly. Let me explain. God. Ooh. He's petty. He's petty. All right. So I'm going to tell you guys how it happened, and I'm going to kind of elaborate on some things. It took me a minute to get up out of my feelings. All right. So I shared some time ago, maybe like 8-9 months ago, something like that, that I'm like the middle person, right? I'm like the person who can bridge things. Meaning, like, okay, someone may have a particular type of lifestyle that I may not agree with, but I can understand why they may act a certain way, whatever. All right. Like, so I'm just the middle person. So, a couple of years ago, I had asked God to help me to understand depression. That was depression during that time. I'm not a person who deals with depression, thank God, truly. And I couldn't understand it. So when I would speak to people who deals with depression, right, I just couldn't grasp it. Because in my mind, my ignorant mind at the time, it's more or less like, I mean, we all have bad days. We all have, just get up and you just move past those bad days. Or you rest a while and just get like, I didn't understand that there's another side of it. The physical, being physically drained and tired, and the motivation and all that stuff is just not there. You don't even feel like you're part of the world, like all that stuff. I didn't understand it. So when I was being used to encourage and uplift and motivate people, I had a hard time grasping why they couldn't just get up and just push past this quote unquote bad day. And then boom, a person who does not struggle with depression, meaning myself, I ended up in a situation that I got to experience it for like maybe roughly 3 to 5 days, something like that. And I couldn't understand it because I'm like, I mean, I'm honest enough to say I, deal with anxiety at times, but definitely not depression. And then God dropped it in my spirit then, well, when you guys, meaning us, when we ask for things, we just assume whatever we ask for, God just knocks on the door and hand it to us in an envelope. For me, I'll speak for me, myself. You have to experience it. You have to feel it so you can understand it more deeply. So anyway, when I experienced that, then it gave me a whole different perspective. So now when I have a conversation with someone with depression, my conversation is completely different now because now I get it. All right. So fast forward, I was talking to someone on Wednesday, and this young lady, she's a beautiful young lady, but she dealt with a lot of bullying. She has a darker skin tone, which is nothing like I've never seen. Beautiful, right? Amazing, Godiva chocolate, pure, just very, very dark, beautiful, glistening skin. But she was bullied and tortured pretty much because of her skin and, from what she said, her looks. Okay. So as I was having this conversation with her, and I was trying to really get her to understand how beautiful she is, and she really is. But the more important to her, she just couldn't grasp what she was hearing me, but she wasn't grasping what I was saying. So I was also sharing with her personally that with me, again, I'm a woman, and regardless if, I hear I'm beautiful all the time, even from you guys, like I hear it all the time, all day, every day. But I mean, unless I'm moving in purpose and calling, I don't feel that. Don't get me wrong. I don't feel like I'm ugly. What Satan old Petty just called me. I don't feel like I'm ugly, but I'm not the person who's walking around every day who feels like on this high of, oh, I'm so beautiful. Yes, every place, everything. And let me just encourage you guys with something really quickly. When you see people like that, they're most of the time they're really not confident. When you see something, they're just vain. They're vain. But when you see people like that, and it's all about this, the physical, everything's so physical. I mean, you got different aspects you can look at it. Maybe it could have been a girl who father like really just, made her like the princess, right? And so she still has like that princess mindset, like the world owes her anything, not even realizing that her father really did her a disservice to a certain degree. Yes, great. You put that confidence in her, all the stuff you loved on her properly so she won't go, having to just deal with any type of man. But that princess mindset like that, that's going to only take you but so far. That may open some doors. That may get you some, a certain level of guys, whatever the case may be. But listen, there's going to come a time when that physical means absolutely nothing. So what do you have internally that's going to carry you? So anyway, after I got off the phone with her, I was like, God, I mean, how can I get her to understand that she really is beautiful? And then he said to me, well, Kizzy, you hear that all the time. Are you walking around feeling beautiful 24/7? And I'm like, well, no, God, but I mean, I'm not walking around feeling ugly 24/7 either. And I do feel beautiful and strong when I'm being used in my purpose. Because remember, well, my opinion, the epitome of of confidence and self-esteem is when you're moving in purpose. That's why you're here. Everything else is blocked out. And then I forgot that I had asked God before to help me understand something if I've never experienced it. I've never, ever, honestly, ever had anyone call me ugly, ever. I've never heard ugly, ever, honestly, ever. Even from, jealous girls. You may hear crazy stuff like you think you're all that and you're all this other nonsense, but never ugly. So I was about to pick up the phone to make a call, and somehow I accidentally hit my record button, but my phone was on selfie mode. So when I pick up the phone to attempt to make the call, my video popped up and I'm in selfie mode. And I heard clear as day, this fool called me ugly. And I believed him for a minute, right? And I was like, ooh, you are petty? You are petty? So I just sit in that thing for a moment. And I was like, is your girl really ugly? And then I got the download. Because remember, you've asked me if there are certain things you've never experienced that I help you to, I guess, experience it so you can understand why someone can't receive something. So in that moment, the young lady from Wednesday came back to my mind. I was like, oh my goodness. Satan will sit here and plague your mind with lies. So it's not that people Mm, okay, so even if you're trying to overcome trauma, the things that people lied and said about you, right? So in her case, she's ugly, she's too dark. Okay, so you're trying to heal and you're trying to overcome that. But what I got when he called me ugly, was how people can be plagued with the voices. You're trying to heal, you're trying to do whatever you have to do to make yourself feel better. Let's just say it's hair, nails, all that stuff. Even though that's exterior, I'm just saying someone could be trying to do that to make themselves feel better about themselves. And that means every time you step to try to do it, Satan is in your head telling you you're ugly. You're ugly. No one will ever want you. You will never be enough. Whatever it is, the lies that he's saying to you. But I got to experience how that stuff can sink in if you don't, boom, talk back against it. You're a liar. You're a liar. I'm beautiful. I'm chosen. I am who God says I am. Your mama is ugly. Because I ain't the one. You have to talk to this fool like that. Because if he get any leverage in your mind, it will take root. That thing almost took root. I've never in my life heard that. It almost took root. And I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. Let me go in this bathroom mirror because some man looking right on his phone. And the whole time, it had nothing to do with the phone. It's because I allowed him to put that nonsense in my mind and didn't, boom, speak against it the minute he said it. So whatever he's telling you guys, if it's any of you, if he's saying you're ugly, you're fat, you're this, you're that, and all those other nonsense, whatever he could be saying to you, you got to speak against that thing. You're a liar. Affirmations are so important. So important. Now, granted, if there's some areas that you may be struggling, he may call you, I don't know, fat or skinny. Okay, if those are areas that are your struggle areas, then okay, work on those areas for yourself. If it doesn't bother you, then you're good. But if you know you may already be insecure in that area anyway, just for yourself, like you may know, like, okay, I put weight on since quarantine, so I don't feel like my best self right now, then yes, then you work towards that. But to have him dropping things in your head that you don't even feel or never felt, he is trying to create that narrative because you're so close to destiny. And I mean, what other way to get you to abort destiny? Self-sabotage. So God is trying to give you the blessing. You don't even believe it because you're fat, you're skinny, you're dark, you're white, you're this, you're that, you have a bumpy face, you got this, all this other foolishness. And we're believing that foolishness. So for those of you who may have dealt with bullying in the sense of people could have targeted your looks or your weight or whatever the case may be, because kids are cruel. If you haven't unpacked that stuff yet, we can't keep sitting here lying and saying, oh, well, that was 20 years ago. Oh, that was 30 years ago. It's still rooted in you if you have not pulled that thing up, expelled it, and healed yet. And because you haven't pulled it up yet, Satan knows that. So what is he going to do? He's going to target that area. So when he calls you fat, it's just not Satan calling you fat. It's the little girl at the lunchroom who stole your fig bar because she said you didn't eat it. It was God. It's the little boy in the hallway who you had a crush on. He didn't like you because, you know, he called you Teletubby. God. He called you a Teletubby. It's not funny, guys. Like, I'm trying to make light of the situation. But until you unpack that stuff and realize that's what they said. That's not really who you are. That's what they said. So start working on seeing yourself the way God sees you. Because what's for you is for you. I don't care what you look like, what you smell like. If it's for you, it's for you. Nothing can deter you from your blessings, from your promises. It's for you. It literally is for you. So what's for you is for you. So if you're struggling with the way you look, do you know that the person, that man or that woman was designed specifically for you? So if they're designed specifically for you, you're everything they need. You're the piece of the puzzle. But when we start trying to change who we are because we want to create our own narrative for whatever reason, the person who's designed for you can't even find you. Period. So I wanted to share that because your girl was in her feelings for like 10 minutes, right? Okay. So sis, bro, you're everything. You're beautiful. You're worthy. You are enough. You are enough. Just as you are enough. Nobody or nothing has anything on you. You are in a lane of your own. You were created to be you, not someone else. Social media has us messed up out here. Speak against that nonsense that he's dropping in your spirit. If he calls you fat, no, you're a liar. Your mama is fat. I'm thick. I'm pleasingly plump, whatever word you want to use. Oh, you're too dark. Honey, this skin is everything. The world is just catching up. This skin tone is everything. Well, you're too skinny. Well, whoever's for me likes a skinny woman. Period. I am enough. Well, you stutter. Well, whoever God has for me, you got to speak back against him. And once he realizes that he can't get to you like that, he'll leave you alone. He'll find somebody else. He'll leave you alone. So I wanted to share that with you guys. It's pretty late. 10 after 10 p.m. Eastern time. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.